Hello there. My name is Miki Wright, and I want to welcome you to Beauty Superstars Talk. It's your backstage pass to experts in beauty. And what does being a mentor or having a mentor mean to you? I can say that I've been extremely blessed by the people who've mentored me. I can start with my mom, who's in the business as well, and always been like a lifelong mentor anyway. And particularly as a young stylist, my salon owners, Sally and DC and Gloria Kelly, who was in the Silver Spring area when I moved to the Kelly Harem, and Betty Jo Williams King was one of the first people I worked with as an assistant when I was still in school in Houston. And there have been so many others along the way. So I've been also super blessed to have mentored some of the younger folks in my life. I have two what I call salon daughters, Shantae and Chantel, and they work with me one-on-one. And there's many people that I've taught through the years, coached, and those I work with one-on-one. And a lot of people I never even met personally who bought my books or DVDs. And even back when there was VHS tapes, people will still come up to me and say, I have your tape at home, and tell me how much what I shared impacted their lives. And so it's really a feeling that's hard to explain. But I think my next guest tonight is going to be able to shed some light on what that means. But well over 10 years ago, I was actually invited by her to be a part of the first Mentorship Academy in New York State. It was between West Point Military Academy and Woodbury Commons Outlet Mall, which I did get to go to, but I was actually there for a greater purpose. And it was an honor to support a sister in bringing her vision into reality. So tonight we'll get to go behind the scenes and hear her motivation and the evolution of this life-changing and really groundbreaking event for the beauty industry. And we'll find out who she's become in the process. And so this month is actually about celebrating life changers in a year that's brought so much unrest, sadness, uncertainty. We're here to shine some light, give some hope, and inspire you by sharing some of the great things that are going on. So my guest tonight is Denise Michelle, and she has been steady in her commitment to motivating, educating, and inspiring beauty professionals. And this year has been no exception. So I can't wait to hear what all she has going on. But before I formally introduce her and we jump into hearing her story, I want you to know why I'm so excited and honored to be here. Actually, each and every week, I bring you some of the best and brightest Black artists and entrepreneurs in the beauty industry to share their stories and actually take you backstage into their world. My name, again, is Miki Wright, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our new Beauty Superstars Talk podcast. It's actually on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. So please follow us, tell your friends, and if this mission speaks to you, please consider being a sponsor. You can actually start as low as $1 a month. We appreciate it all. And if you're on YouTube with us, I'd like to invite you to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss an episode. And just to let you know, it's like I started Beauty Superstars Talk as an opportunity to celebrate Black artists and entrepreneurs who are excelling in the beauty industry, to actually preserve our history and to encourage entrepreneurship in our industry. And I've had the pleasure of doing almost everything you can do in the beauty industry, including starting out as a very struggling hairstylist to becoming an award-winning hairstylist, and per Salon Today magazine owning one of the 200 fastest growing salons in the country, as well as helping thousands of other stylists and salon owners to get more clients and make more money. And I'm actually second generation in the industry with my mom, and I actually have a sister in it as well. And you could say that I love the beauty industry, and I'm really grateful for its legacy of entrepreneurship. So Beauty Superstars Talk was actually born out of the unfortunate murder of George Floyd and the racial tensions that erupted thereafter. It basically quickly spilled into the beauty industry, which, if you're not familiar, is still one of the most segregated industries in the country. And during that time, it's like I actually had the honor to attend a couple of Zoom calls where some top Black artists were able to meet with each other and actually share their stories. And for many, there was pain over, subtle and not so subtle racial incidents, but they didn't let it stop them. And I left there feeling so inspired and with a sense that people just have to hear these stories that I decided to expand my platform to provide a safe space for Black artists to be able to tell their own stories, without anyone else's narrative. And so we're here to inspire, to educate, and take the next, or create, I hope, the next generation of beauty superstars, as well as heal our beloved industry. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my guest, Denise Michelle. And I'm going to share just a little bit about her before we get to jump into everything. So again, thank you guys for being here. And Denise Michelle Coates. Denise Michelle is a highly accomplished visionary with extensive training in the beauty industry. She is the founder of Next Level Concepts and the visionary of Mentorship Academy in Atlanta, Georgia headquarters, where she serves as the chief executive officer with over 29 years as a licensed hairstylist. She travels extensively across the country and into foreign countries, partnering with her staff and other educators to present consistent, high-quality, groundbreaking content that delivers on the founding core mission of Next Level Concepts to motivate, educate, and inspire others to reach their maximum potential. She's at her best when her passion and desires are met by pouring knowledge back into the lives of cosmetologists. With her artistic vision and impeccable attention to detail, Denise enjoys working with students and cosmetologists to build techniques that will assist in creating hairstyles for their clients' individualized needs. Denise delivers today's education with boldness, versatility, and freshness that will leave you with reassurance, understanding, and the confidence needed to be successful in the beauty industry. She holds a Bachelor of Science Degree in Educational Studies and a Master's degree in Educational Leadership. She has a New York State Permanent Teacher's Certification and has developed her own line of hair care products, Weightless Hair. She also has owned 3 salons and developed an advanced core curriculum to fuse basic strengths with advanced techniques in hair cutting and hair coloring. Denise founded the Mentorship Academy Advanced Training Institute in 2019 and currently serves as the executive director. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like a lot to live up to. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it sounds a little different when you hear it read, right?
Yeah.
And probably a little different from the day-to-day,
It's the day-to-day, exactly. I'm like, wow, okay, I did all of that.
Yes. Well, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Miki. I appreciate you. Good to be here.
Yeah, well, I would definitely consider you a life changer. I think you've done so many amazing things. But tell us, how did you get started in the industry?
Well, long story short, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Tracy Johnson on the West Coast. Okay, so she was my very, very first mentor. And we recently reconnected, and I DM'd her a picture of and just a thank you. I had one of those like epiphanies, like a little life moment for a minute, and I was just so forever grateful. But make a long story short, I was actually a model of hers at the Bronner Brothers hair show, and this is when I was just in beauty school. Ever since I was 14, I had a small clientele that consisted of my grandmother, my mother, and my grandmother's best friend every Saturday. And that was the hardest $20 I made ever in life. But once I got to the hair show, I had like a real heart to heart with Tracy that made me say, yes, this is absolutely what I want to do. So I'm just grateful and thankful to her. We stayed in contact throughout the years, but we just kind of reconnected recently. But yeah, I have to give it all up to her, seriously, because the conversations, you never know, what someone will receive during a small, intimate conversation. And I told her, for me, a time of just, me being her model, there were so many things she spoke and she confirmed over my life. I was like, this is absolutely what I want to do. No, I don't want to go to college immediately. I want to go into the salon and be a professional stylist.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you went right, like you said, 14, you were doing your clients and working hard for the money.
Working hard for that 20, with
I'm
the
sure they gave you a run for your money.
yes. But yes, in New York State, we have high school still, right in high school. I'm sorry, we have cosmetology right in high school. So 11th grade, 12th grade, when you graduate, you have a temporary license, and then you go on to take your boards.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, from there to JCPenney's.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
So what was it like from there? Because I know by the time I met you, and it's like we've known each other for quite a while, professional acquaintances, that type of thing, but I don't know very much about your story.
Yeah.
And so, what was it like by the time I met you? You were doing education nationally, traveling around, you had a salon. So what was the gap in between there?
Oh boy. Whew. The gap in between there, and this is a lot of what I share during my Mentor Madness sessions.
Mhm.
And those are small, intimate sessions that lead up to Mentorship Academy in August. And during that time, I share my story. And during that time, married, divorce, a total of 5 kids now, but during that time, it was three children. Um, Salon owner. However, I was broke.
Mhm.
I was turning $100,000 a year
Mhm.
in a full service salon that I owned, but I was so broke, and not just financially broke, but spiritually broken as well.
Mhm.
At that time of my life, I still advanced in my career. Like I said, my salon was doing very well. I had 7 stylists. It was full service at that time. It was a salon and spa. Nothing was really broken there, because once I stepped inside of that salon, it was all business. I left all of those problems outside. I even tell my stylist that I say, when we come through this door, we are not friends. Okay. It's all about business. And then we can pick up where we left off and go out after, if that's what y'all want to do. But when we get into these doors, it's all about business. So that was like a no brainer for me, but it was the rest of my life that was all screwed up, and at that time, I consider myself to be kind of at the top of my game. Um, I had just started being an ambassador for Dudley Products, where I met 2 of my mentors that are still my mentors to this day, Micheline and Freddie J. And, everything was great, except, like I said, financially broke, doing business all wrong, and spiritually broke, emotionally broke.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing this, I know there's got to be several others just going and passing through life the very same way. And that's how Mentorship Academy was birthed.
Wow. Wow. So take us a little bit further into it if you would, as far as, one, okay, so financially broke, you've got this great salon, it's booming, there's money coming through the doors and probably, draining back out faster than it's coming in. So what does that look like, or how did that, transpire? Because I know a lot of people are there, and
Yeah.
wondering.
You know what, Miki? It's really because as stylists, we don't have our priorities in order. Yes, we see a lot of cash come through our hands. And I'm gonna just talk about me. I'm not talking about anybody else. Thousands of dollars in 1 week. And anybody in the beauty industry know that potential is very real. Thousands of dollars in 1 week. However, as fast as it came in, it's as fast as it went out, because I was mismanaging, wasn't paying bills on time, or was overthinking and overspending and not prioritizing, and buying the latest whatever, car, clothing, bags, shoes, all of that stuff. and it just was not in order, and eventually it caught up with me, you know. And I knew I had to do something about it. However, you still got this money coming in, you're not planning for tomorrow. So you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. And unfortunately, that's a lot of what I see in the industry now. After speaking with people one-on-one and coaching and things like that. But thank God I have the ability, I'm equipped with the tools to help people turn that whole situation around. But yeah, that was kind of my life, you know, bad relationships, bad marriage, domestic violence, homeless. A lot of people see me now, but they don't know that myself and 3 of my children lived in a hotel, homeless, where Department of Social Service put me up in until I can get my life together. So, you know, they don't know that part of Denise. They don't know that story. And it was in that time where I actually was in the hotel room. I had dropped my kids off to school and I came back, and the Lord had spoke to me, and I had a one-on-one conversation, and I made a promise to God. And I said, God, if you bring me out of this, I promise you, I'll reach back and I'll grab as many people that I possibly can. And the Lord held me to that promise to this day. And every time I tried to get away from it, he was like, hello, you remember that promise you made me, right? So that's a big part of how Mentorship Academy developed.
Wow. Well, that is such a powerful testimony, you know, and I know that it's going to touch a lot of people in terms of, you know, just your openness and transparency with, you know, this whole month in particular is about life changers. And it's like, I find that many of the people who are changing lives have been through some things that have changed their lives. And
well, I'm a big fan of, you can only impart what's been imparted to you, and you can only break off what's been broken off of you. I kind of live by that motto. And because, you know, I couldn't understand it throughout the years, like, why am I keep going through? But now I understand it, because even during my coaching, I promise you, there's not a situation that has come across me that I cannot speak to, because I've lived it personally.
Right. Yeah. And I think we attract, you know, the people who have a connection in some way that may be, you know, in a spiritual nature or somewhere under the surface of, we don't know why we're attracting them, or they don't know why they may be attracted to us. But then when we get into the nitty gritty, it's like, oh, okay, this is why you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's pause right there, because I do want to go back to some of that, but fast forward into COVID.
Okay.
And, you know, where you've been financially. It's like, I've had my own challenges financially through the years with, but, you know, COVID hit, salons closed, like, oh, you're not going back to work tomorrow.
Right.
And, you know, most of us were unprepared. I mean, nobody's prepared for a pandemic, but, you know, some of us a little more so than others. But is there something that you could share or to speak to, you know, somebody who may be trying to navigate? You know, California's just been shut back down, I think, for the 3rd time for some of the state anyway. And then, you know, the numbers are rising everywhere, so there may be shutdowns to come. So is there anything that you could speak to just based on your experience?
Well, you know, that's a good question. And I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but in the beginning, I totally came off of social media. A lot of people were doing, you know, and if that's what God told you to do, I don't have no argument with you. But I completely shut down. I couldn't ask anyone $1 to do anything. You know, and I seen a lot of people, because, you know, that was their means or what have you, but a lot of to continue to do their sales and all that kind of stuff. But for me personally, I just couldn't do it. I could not ask anyone to support anything that I was on, because I completely understand that you don't know where your next dollar is coming from. So I had to completely withdraw myself from. Let me say this: I've been a single parent. I've been a single woman, and I know what it's like to have to feed your children. I completely get that. So that is a conversation that I tread very light on, because I understand that people have to do whatever they have to do to make ends meet for their kids. So with that said, I didn't say a word for months until God spoke to me and let me know exactly what to say. So I kept my mouth off of that. As far as commenting now, I still kind of feel the same way. The only thing that I did speak of is this has been a wake-up call to everyone to get their finances and their paperwork in order. I have spoke to so many people privately that could not even apply for anything because they had no taxes, no tax returns to prove that they even had an income coming in. So there was nothing for them, you know. And I'm not sure if you noticed, we did supply dinner to families, Mentorship Academy, for at least, I want to say that went on for about a month or two. And I thank God for everyone that donated. So as soon as a donation came in, I sent it out to a family, you know. And I was so glad about that, to have people assist us to put dinner on the table for families that I personally knew didn't have a way to feed their kids, even for that night. So we were able to supply not just dinner for the night, but groceries for like a week to a family. So what I will say, it has taught the beauty industry to maintain their financial records and to make sure that, you know, you're telling the truth on these taxes, because you're only hurting yourself if you don't. And I'll be the first. I've said this before. That's why I was so jacked up, because $100,000 salon, but you claim you're only doing so much, or you telling people or whatever. I don't want to say anything about you too much, but I was guilty. So I understand what that's like. I really do.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think you probably blessed some people with, some of the things that you shared. And I did definitely see, like a lot of people without things in order. And so it is that wake up call to say, okay, well, what do I need to do now? And so reach out to, people, like Denise, I'm happy to help. It's like I have my video thing streaming through here and didn't even think about it. But, it's like there are resources, and there is help, and you will survive, and that's, kind of what I hear from your story. It's like you will survive. You can get on the other side of it, even though it may seem hopeless, or like you don't know how, or don't know when or why or anything.
Yes, I have, God bless her soul. We call her Granny Annie, and she used to say all the time, baby, this too shall pass. And I swear I live by that. Like, you got to know that it's not forever.
Yeah.
It's a temporary state. So be careful not to make permanent decisions in a temporary state. It will pass. It will. You just have to hold on.
Right. That's wisdom speaking right there. Don't make those permanent decisions.
No, don't do it. Been there, done that.
Right.
It will pass.
Yes, absolutely. So talk to us about, the single motherhood and, even just motherhood in general. It's like, I think I'm going to do like a panel type of thing, because when I started doing a lot of educating, going on the road and that type of thing, there weren't a lot of women who are doing it. Right now, there's a lot more. So it's really exciting, but I'm just wondering, what is that balancing act like? Because I haven't been the mother. It's like that didn't happen for me. And so,
I guess I could loan you some throughout these years.
Okay.
Keep it for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been very interesting. You know, parenting has its highs and its lows sometimes. As I said, I have 5 children and one grandbaby.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So they're in sets. So my first 3 are all grown adults. I ain't gonna get ready to say their ages because I always screw that up. They're like, Mom, you don't remember how old I am? I'm like, you're 30. How old are you? 29 now? What year was you born again?
Okay. You are supposed to know that, right?
Right. So my son is 24.
Okay.
Yeah, my oldest is just turned 30. I think she's 30 or 31. And my Deja is 27. So I think I got it right. And and that was very interesting because, like I said, during that time, I was married for 4 years to their father, and I was going through a divorce, separation, back again, divorce, that kind of thing, for years. And so it was kind of rocky. It was a tough situation, but my kids are my priority and always have been my priority. Mm-hmm. So even though you marry sometime, you still a single parent, Mm-hmm. So I live that life. So my kids are my rock. They're my priority. And no matter what, the healthy balance is always kids first. So even though I own I think it was a total of 4 salons in New York. No matter where I was or what was going on, my children always came first. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, I had an awesome daycare provider. Okay. Who also did night hours. So if I needed her at night, she was there at night. And I always had an assistant in the salon. So I had 2 amazing assistants, and they carried me a long way. So I didn't really have to stress too much in the salon. I always had them doing everything from soup to nuts, and then I come in at the end. So balance is the key. Balance is the key. So I did that for, so they was grown, basically. Okay. And then I have the other 2 little ones, and they're not so little anymore. We were just discussing our weight today, and one told me she actually was 2 pounds more than me. Okay. So I'm like, oh God, but they're 14 and 16.
Wow. Yeah, those are cool ages. Yes. Well, congratulations on, just navigating it all. And it sounds like with such grace, even though, like you said, all of the things that you were going through personally and, professionally in terms of the finances and all of that. So you were talking about, just all of your experiences, the things that you were going through. Mm-hmm. How did you manage, I guess, to leave everything at the door? Because I find that a lot of times when our foundation isn't in order, that it becomes much more challenging to try to, kind of fake it till you make it, in a sense.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to be very transparent. And I always am. Everybody knows that I'm an open book, because I'm just here to share my testimony, and hopefully somebody will be encouraged. As a Black community, African-American community, sometimes we kind of shy away from counseling. Mm-hmm. And I was at the point where I realized I can't do this by myself anymore. Like my brain will not allow me to make these kind of decisions. So at a point in my life, yes, I had to go through counseling in order to understand what is the next path. make sure I forgave myself. I wasn't disappointing my children, through going through divorce, and, just to make sure a check-in for Denise. And I think it was during those counseling sessions where I finally, because I am a woman of faith, pray a lot, attend church, prayer services, all of the above. But sometimes, that can get, I'm choosing my words carefully, that can get, oh God.
Take your time.
I'm trying to choose my word. And I'm not coming down on, my faith, church, nothing like that. But sometimes some things, prayer, but you need a little something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm praying, I'm talking to God. God, I need you to heal me, deliver me, help me see the next phase and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you just need to talk it out with a professional. And I think talking it out, and I think that's why God put people like that here and in those places, But that's when I got my aha moment. That's when it was okay to move forward. And it was okay to let those things go that I had no power over them. I had, and sometimes that kind of like makes you feel like you're losing control because you don't have any power over it. But let those things go that you don't have power over, because all it's going to do is wear you out at the end of the day, So yeah, so during that time, seeking counseling and getting the help that I personally needed, because I was so broken, and some of those things was kept showing up in other relationships, even my relationships with my kids, and and I understood that it was really, really starting to control me, to have leverage on my life. So I had to go back and get totally healed and totally because divorce is like death, and I've been divorced twice. So I've experienced that 2 times, and I had to go back and say, you know what? I got to nip this right now. I got to pull this root up so we don't continue to grow any bad branches in my life. So counseling helped me do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely glad that you shared that, because I think it is something that's undershared in our community, and that it is powerful, a powerful resource like any other resource or training or tool that we might use to navigate life. And that we can sometimes feel like, oh, well, I don't need that because that means something about me.
Right.
When in reality, it's there to support us and help us to be able to move forward and be a better service to everyone else.
And that right there, because I know God has had a calling on my life, and he doesn't use me in the 4 walls of the church, but he uses me. My platform is Mentorship Academy, and where souls are being saved, people are getting delivered, businesses are turning around, the praise reports from people who come to and attend mentorship still blows my mind. But I could not be a better servant in that walk that God was calling me to, until I went back and I got completely delivered and healed in those areas. So yeah, so that's why I say, you're only able to impart what's been imparted to you and break off what's been broken off from you. So now I can stand boldly and speak to somebody and call it what it is and guide them to the other side.
Right. Wow. Yeah. And I hope someone like kind of got that, that those are the pieces that come before, because sometimes we just see the outside. It's like, oh, Denise is doing this and Denise is doing that and so on and so forth. But it's like, there's always, like I say, you don't land at the top of the hill. It's like there's some climbing that has to happen,
There's a cost to levels of anointing. It's a cost. So if you want to step in my little old shoes, listen, there's a whole bunch of pay.
Okay.
I just didn't arrive, in which I feel like I still haven't arrived, but you know what I mean. I haven't arrived to this point right now. It's like, this is years.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, talk to us, because where did going to college fall into all of that?
Well, actually, long story short, I'm very good friends with my cosmetology teacher from when I was in school. And she gave me a call one day and she was like, hey, there's a position in Open Up and we need a Black educator to come in. She was like, and I need for you to get your degree so that you'll be eligible for this position. Just like that. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do this now. I kept talking about going back to school, getting my degree and all that stuff. And then this was the perfect opportunity that I couldn't let go. Now in New York State, in order to even be a cosmetology teacher, like I said, it's in our high school. You have to go through everything as if you were an English teacher or math teacher, same certification, same test, all of that stuff. So I did the vocational ed track, accomplished that, and then finished my bachelor's in education. And I needed that so that I can become so I could become a cosmetology teacher. And I taught for 9 years.
Wow.
In 9 years, and still maintain the salon.
Okay. You are a powerful woman.
And I can recall, this is I tell my son this all the time because he's literally in his last semester and he's been working on his bachelor's for 6 years now. Okay. So I remind him all the time. I used to cook, clean, put my kids to bed, and then go to the computer. And at that time, the computer was downstairs. So he would say, good night, Ma, and he'd go upstairs, go get in the bed. And then his alarm went off, he'd come downstairs. I'm still at the computer. He'd say, good morning, Ma, you still there? I said, I got to get this degree done. You know? So that was my time for all of my work and stuff like that. But I use that as encouragement for him to keep pushing, pushing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm noticing, a lot of the people, maybe a 50-50 split of the people I've been interviewing have degrees. And it's like the perception of the hairstylists is that we're not, very smart, we're not very well educated and all of that. Yeah. You would just do hair, why would you do hair if you were smart? You know what I mean? Right. But there's so many wonderful, talented, smart, well-educated people that are in this industry that we have to applaud it. And would you suggest that for others? It's like I had someone that I mentored, I'd asked a question on Instagram or something, and she replied, some of the things that she didn't learn in cosmetology school, she had actually learned by getting her degree in terms of running her business and that type of thing. So is that something you would suggest?
I think everyone should you don't have to shoot for a 4-year degree or a master's degree, but I think we all need business course, some type of business certification or something, because I've learned so much. And, when you're working on your bachelor's, they take you completely back to school with, your algebra, your English, your business 101, all of those things like I didn't get in high school. It's like I learned it for the first time when I was obtain my bachelor's degree. Now my master's degree is a concentration in educational leadership and administration track. So that's a whole nother story. I just recently finished that and I'm glad about it. And I'm so glad about it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. But as all of those things have helped me become a better businesswoman to understand the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah. Is there any one thing that you feel like, wow, I'm so glad I went because of this, this piece that I learned?
It's personal for me. I'm just glad that I went and I proved it to myself You know, it's not for nothing. That's my own personal self-satisfaction that I actually did it. I'm the only one in my family who's, you know, with my siblings who's an entrepreneur. So all through life, like they traditionally went to school and all that stuff. I didn't. So there's kind of a feeling of you have to prove yourself for years to, you know, even your siblings and your family, like you have to prove like I can do it too. Yes, you did it. Yeah, you're making 100,000, but I'm doing it without a college degree at the time, you know, but it's never quite equal. And I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs can probably attest to this. Like, yeah, it's just not the same, you know. So it's not for anybody but me. That's it.
Awesome.
Whether I use them or not, they're for me.
Right. Yeah, well, that's wonderful. And yeah, I'm currently the only one in my family who hasn't gotten a degree, and we're pretty much all entrepreneurs. But I'm like, I don't want to go back, so we'll see.
Probably the most successful as well.
What you say?
You're probably the most successful.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do my part, do what I'm called to do. So
very well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's like I'll just put up something. It's like Lakeisha McCrae says, awesome information. Thanks, lady, for sharing.
That's my girl.
It's like we're getting oh gosh, let's see here. It's like there's more Lakeisha. Linda McLaren. Love you, Denise.
Linda. You.
And here we go. Take a business course. Yes. Well, thank you everybody for the comments and for sharing. I know everybody's inviting people and all, so we really appreciate it. So tell us, like with that first one I was there for Mentorship Academy, what was that, you know, what was kind of your vision for it at that time? I know you were putting together a team and, you know, you got started, but it feels like it just kind of blew up in a sense, you know.
Oh, that was okay. So that was my trial run. And Miki, I am so thankful to you, to Micheline and Carlene, my very first 3 educators. Took a risk and took a gamble on me in this little vision that I had. And I think we had maybe, was it 25 people in the room? I don't even know.
I think there was more, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so I thank you guys for taking a risk in a gamble on the vision that God gave me. During that time, God literally mapped out exactly what I was supposed to do when I told him, if you turn this around, I promise you. And he gave me the vision for it. I wrote it down. I started planning on how I can make this come to life. I ran it by you guys, and you guys didn't hesitate to be a part. So like I said, I'm so grateful and thankful for that. And then we went ahead with the vision. At that time, it was really just to motivate, to encourage, to inspire, to help people understand how to do better business, not just technique, not just hair. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And then I was doing a team search at that time as well, looking to grow a little bit. So it was I think it was a 2-day event or something like that.
That sounds right.
And the focus at that point was more on the business side, the technique. We did about maybe 50% on, but the empowerment and the motivation is what spoke the loudest. I didn't understand how many people needed a push, you know, just needed to hear, like, I love you and you can do this. And that was the most overwhelming part then. It was a huge success in my eyes. We took it to Atlanta after that.
Okay, so after that, you went to Atlanta. You were still living in New York, though.
I was still living in New York.
Okay.
Because I was here so much, and doing so many classes and the shows and things like that, I decided to come to Atlanta. Now, when we took it to Atlanta, it blew up. I said, whoa, so much so that I wasn't ready for it. And then I paused it for 1 year. I said, okay, God, I see what we're doing now. I see what you got me doing. And that was the first year that our overseer now, Pastor Georgia Salmon, she came and she helped me try and develop this revival portion. And this, it was all in one room, one strip. In Atlanta, we had about maybe 100 people in attendance. And that kind of blew my mind because I'm coming from something like 25 to 100 people. It was a 2-day breakfast, lunch, hands-on workshops, the revival. It was a lot. And it was overwhelming. I mean, not a dry eye in the place. So I paused it and then I regrouped and I restructured because I knew exactly what I was dealing with. And then I took it to Miami after that.
Okay.
And
so just 1 year in Atlanta.
Just 1 year.
Okay.
In Miami, the rest of the years up until now. And this was our first year in Atlanta, but due to COVID, it was virtual.
Okay. And what was that transition like? Kind of like putting the brakes on what you already had planned, I'm sure, for at least a year in advance, and then moving to a virtual.
Yeah, actually, the virtual went very well. But the in-person, we already have approximately 400 people registered. Yeah. So we outgrew our spaces in Miami, which went very well. The revival portion now is a full church service. So we have 2 speakers. Evangelist Latrice Ryan has been with us for a few years. Pastor Shalandria Taylor. Pastor Jamal Bryant was due to be in person this year. However, he did do virtual. My band, Fred and the whole gang, they lead the whole praise and worship. We have a praise and worship team. It is amazing. It is a movement. It is so powerful. I just don't have the words to explain how a revival service is. Last year, 20 plus souls came to Christ. So we are doing the work of the Lord. We are setting the captive free. It is amazing. And then we go into morning prayer with our overseer, and that's a little more intimate. And then, so we have a conference, and then we have another conference after that, seems like, because the revival is just a conference all in itself. And then we go into the next 2 days of classes, which are technique, lots of business, lots of empowerment, lots of hands-on sessions, and we cover everything from soup to nuts in the entire beauty industry. If you want to learn it, it's there at Mentorship Academy.
Wow. So tell us, how can people get involved and when is the next one? And you mentioned some sessions that you have leading up to it.
Yes, we will start, and we're going to be doing it pandemic style. So it will be social distancing. We will cap at a certain number, but our small intimate sessions for Mentor Madness, and those are my small informative informational sessions for people who maybe don't know nothing about it, never heard of it, and they want to understand a little bit more and have a taste, or understand a little, get a deeper glimpse of what it's about. And these sessions are, like I said, they're small and they're intimate, and they are always powerful. It's like it's mini mentorship sessions is what it is. And those are free. Those are free to people who sign up and register and come on and meet us over. We will start those in February. And I'll plan, it depends. I'm just trying to see how the pandemic go, but we'll have, usually about 4 or 5 leading up to, and then mentorship is August. What's the dates? Somebody tell Miss Miki to do it. I can't think off the top of my head. It is the third week in August.
Okay.
Friday until Monday night.
Friday to Monday. Okay.
Friday is our meet and greet, and then we go full-fledged into the entire weekend. Now, Miss Miki, can I mention this?
Sure.
Okay, so our pre-registration is open, but I went in and I turned on the rate of $99 for anyone who wants to register. Now, this is normally a $395 event.
Wow.
And it is $99. It's just up there now. I don't know till when, but it's there. You can go to nextlevelconcepts.net, nextlevelconcepts.net if you're interested in registering or just want more information.
I'm going to see if I can type here.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this year while you type in, and it's going to be bigger and better, than ever. The pandemic can't slow us down. We have a mission, and we are going to complete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually just speaking with someone yesterday, and I hope you guys can read this. I have it scrolling across here. It might be a little jumbled. I might need to take something out, but let me know.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I was saying, I read somebody's post that said something like, 2020 was not on my vision board. And, I totally get that. But I was like, your vision really should be beyond, the year or the circumstances of what is going on, that your goals would be impacted and may need to be shuffled around. But that vision still, like you say, remains the same.
That's right.
That's
right. Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else? Because I know you've got the product line and I've seen a couple other things. So I want to make sure we touch on everything.
Okay. So what's next for Denise Michelle? The salon and the school.
Okay.
The nonprofit. That's what I'm working on now. And the product line.
Okay.
So Weightless Hair. We just redeveloped some of our products. We did some new labels and branding and all of that kind of stuff. I am adding to the line some shampoos, conditioners, some treatments, and I have a new product coming out, and I'm going to surprise everybody with it. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Okay.
It's major, and it's a part of the Weightless Hair system. And that'll be coming out very soon. And I'll hop back on maybe with you, and we'll chat more about products and stuff. We have finally got our location down, and I'm hesitant in talking about it because this has been an ordeal. So Mai Tai the salon and Mai Tai the Advanced Training Academy. It's Mentorship Academy Advanced Training Institute.
Okay.
And I'm pronouncing that acronym as Mai Tai. That's what it is.
Mai Tai. Okay.
Okay. So we'll have an opportunity now to do advanced training right in the building. I am looking for stylists in the Atlanta area who would like to join our team. If you're interested in joining the team, please you can go to nextlevelconcepts.net and just leave us a message, or mythaibeauty.com and leave us a message, or inbox me and just leave me a message that you're interested and want more information on how to join the team. So we are, it's a 2-phase concept. The salon is the first phase with the Advanced Training Academy. And then we have the suites, which is the second phase, and just more classrooms and things like that. So then we have an end goal within the next year or two to have our basic school up and running.
Okay.
you know, that's a lot of paperwork.
So
So
when you say the basic school, it'll be a full cosmetology school.
yes,
Wow.
a full cosmetology school.
You are ambitious.
Yeah, got nothing but time. Might as well make it work for me, right?
Absolutely.
The Advanced Training School is a part of our nonprofit where we have a board, and we are in the process of getting some grants and making some progress with helping some unfortunate, maybe underprivileged students, and give them an opportunity. So that's all in the works right now.
Yeah, well, that is wonderful. That's
Yeah.
very exciting. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
everything you've already done and everything that you're doing. I think it's, just amazing is one way to put it, but, just really taking, like you say, taking full advantage of the time that's here. I just saw so many people who were complaining, who were like, oh, I'm bored and this, that, and the other. And I could not understand it at all. It's like I said, in January, all of us were like, oh, if I just had more time, I would, do X
Right.
or Y or Z,
Well, we got time now, that's for
you
sure.
have time, and then you're saying you're bored. It's like, no, work on some of these things, because
Exactly.
there's so many ways to serve in the world, not just in the industry.
Exactly.
But yeah, your talents and gifts are needed in all different parts of the just your walk.
Right. Exactly. And we have the time now. Can I say something about how a lot of this even came to fruition with a lot of talk, and I think you wanted to chat about this anyway, about having a seat at a table. Okay. So when I think everybody started talking about that during George Floyd, because a lot of companies now realize that there's a unbalance. There's an unbalance with, with everything, and I'm trying to choose my words very carefully, but there is an imbalance with the dynamic of, how many Black stylists are represented in all of these major companies, and it's been an imbalance for years. I've submitted to several predominantly white shows and been rejected every time for no reason. This, sorry, we're full, but my white counterpart could have applied the same time that I did, and she was accepted, So yeah, there's an imbalance in all of that. And, it came up, in several conversations about, wanting to have a seat at their table, to get in and to break down and to all of that. My perspective on that is, I don't really care to have a seat at anyone's table. And that's not the only way to make an impact or a difference in our community. I don't need to infiltrate into anyone's company to have my voice heard in order to make a change. You understand what I'm saying? Me personally, this is just me talking. I applaud anyone who's doing that, and who's making a change, but that's just not the direction or the path that I feel like God is taking me on. When I hear the words "a seat at the table," I feel like those words represent, when you have a seat, you have an appointment. Your appointment and your season will expire because it's a seat. It's a seat. You've been welcomed in, but your time will expire because you have an appointment. Your term will end. I don't want to make a temporary impact. Therefore, I need to create my own table. I need to create my own seat. I need to have my own agenda. And this is why My Tai Beauty, kind kind of went 100% full speed ahead. It's because I realized, during this time, I don't want to fight with people and with a company to hear my voice heard temporarily, and then I'll get muzzled when I say too much, or if I don't say enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I don't teach you what you need to learn, so therefore I need to be very proactive. I need to be diligent. I need to put the pedal to the metal in creating my own table and affording others the same opportunity to make a change, where your appointment will not expire. Right. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And I think that's really powerful. It's like, I'm glad that that we got to that conversation, because we did talk about it a little bit and want to have that conversation, because I think it's so imperative that we each have the opportunity to have our thoughts and feelings and to create in whatever way or serve in whatever way that we feel led to serve, and that all of it enhances the whole.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's a sense of like, all Black people should want the same thing. Like, what do you want? It's like, we don't all want the same thing. We don't all have the same backgrounds. We don't all have the same experiences. And I think it is important to be able to have opportunities in whatever direction that you'd like to have opportunities, whether that's creating them yourself, whether that's partnering with other companies, whether it's, whatever it might be. I think it's important to have those opportunities available. And so I definitely appreciate your thoughts and you sharing them with us, and all that you're doing to, like you say, create the table and create opportunities for others to be able to do the same. There's nothing more powerful.
Yeah, and not saying anything negative about anyone who's partnering with companies. I applaud you. That's not my message. That's not what I'm trying to deliver.
Right.
I'm just trying to speak my mind on, my opinion about how I feel about that.
Right. And I definitely get it. It's like, I've been on the show circuit, you and I have been at a lot of different shows and stuff together. And it's like, anyone that's been involved with it, particularly as a person of color, knows that there are inequities, that there are things that don't go a certain way because you're not a certain color.
Exactly.
And so
I think
those things do need to change. But it's like, there's lots of different ways to create change.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think even with the, as you say, when the whole pandemic hit, it's like everybody responded in different ways. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to, like, be in our lane, stay in our lane, do what we're guided to do in whatever way that shows up, versus the comparison. It's like, oh, well, they're doing all that, maybe I should be doing this, and getting lost in yourself from trying to keep up with others.
Yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head. Everybody stay in their own lane and do what God called you to do. God didn't call me to do, I can name a lot of things, but I'm not going to.
Right.
He just called me to stay focused on Mentorship Academy, building the kingdom up through that platform, changing the lives, encouraging people, empowering people. And he promised to take care of me.
Right. So, and I think that's really where the power is the focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And not getting scattered, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I should be doing this because this happened. It's like, nope,
stay focused.
Yep.
Stay focused.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it may be Joyce Meyer that talks about how we're like, well, I don't know what to do, God. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's like, what did he tell you to do before? Keep doing that,
Exactly. That's why I went kind of silent, when the pandemic first hit, because he didn't tell me to say anything. So
Right.
I'm not going to create a live and just be talking because everybody else is talking. No.
Right.
Be
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. Yep. And I felt like, it's like I have to serve my community in whatever way that looks like. And for me, it just felt like I just had a sense of peace and calm, just having been through everything I've been through, that it's like, we're going to get through this. Calm
Right.
down, take a deep breath. You can't make wise decisions in a panic.
That's right.
So like you say, don't make that permanent decision based
Mhm.
on a temporary circumstance. And
That's
so,
right.
yeah.
And it will pass, and it's passing. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a slow pass, but it's
Slow pass.
yeah, yeah. So I definitely hope everyone is being safe, and that we're staying the course, because I know people are getting tired and weary and whatever. But,
Right.
wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your salon, sterilized basically.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, keep going. So, is there anything else that you want to say in terms of, you've been in education, and I think that's a really key area in terms of inclusivity and diversity, that a lot of people coming into the industry have some opportunities to
Mhm.
expand where they, what they see, how they feel, what they learn in that
Mhm.
arena. Are there any things that from your experience as an educator that you can speak to?
If I'm understanding your question correctly, I would just say to continue to educate yourself, and don't just single out one thing. Learn, especially being new, learn the entire scope of what this industry has to offer, and then maybe hone in on a specialty,
Mhm.
and work that specialty. But education is key. You have to continue to take your classes, to go to the shows. Oh God, I can't wait to go back to a hair show. Had to draw, but continue to educate yourself. And I know things can get costly, but what I did when I first started out was I had an educational card, one credit card
Mhm.
that I dedicated just to my education. And I would, of course, charge it, pay it off, charge it, pay it off. But I knew what my limit was and what, yearly I was going to plan out to do as far as that little bit of credit took me. But it was a must. It's a must. It's a must for us.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good tip. I like that. It's like
Mhm.
set aside your, yeah, don't get it over your head, but set it aside so you can
Right.
take advantage of some of the opportunities. And, I think you and I both feel the same way as far as, with education and investing in yourself, that it should be an investment that, when you get back, you should be equipped to make more than you were before.
Exactly, exactly. And I hear these testimonies coming back after people have attended Mentorship Academy. It's like,
Mhm.
I'm a little nervous about spending $395. But oh my God, I made that back as soon as I did my first couple of clients, or,
Right.
the technique that I learned from, LaShonda or Freddie, or,
Mhm.
I've learned so much and I can put it to use, and people are making their money right back and then some.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the way we need to look at it. It's like, okay, this is 395. How many heads is that of the clients that I have right now? Okay,
Exactly.
so if I do, 6 people's hair, I can
Mhm.
get this class.
Exactly. Yep. But right now it's $99. So
Yeah,
so you
rush,
guys
run.
want on over to the website and secure your entire weekend for just
Wow,
$99.
that's a phenomenal offer. We appreciate
Yes.
that, Denise. And it's like, we'll wrap up, but is there anything else that you feel like you want to share about, your perspectives on the industry and where we go in terms of going forward?
Oh, good question. You know what? I say unity.
Mm,
If we can come together and be more united, there's several shows, there's several classes, there's a lot of us put on awesome shows. Kevin, Mitch, Freddie, LaShonda. I don't want to start calling out too many names. I'll get in trouble. But a lot of people do a lot of great things. I want to come together and do something real big, united. I would love to see that. And so I'm calling them out publicly now. I've actually had this conversation privately with all of them.
Okay.
So publicly, I'm calling them out. So that would be like my most important thing to see this industry go a little bit further. But I would be so wrong if I didn't mention my husband, because I thank God for my husband. And I say it like this: his background is in organizational management. So he literally took Mentorship Academy from a rotary dial. Y'all know what that is. Y'all remember.
Some folks watching and listening.
What's a rotary dial? But I say this all the time. He took me from a rotary dial to a touch screen.
Okay.
Type of mentality. So I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for Mr. Coates. He is my best friend, and I love him. And I have to fight Auntie Tammy Charles all the time because she thinks it's her man. God, it's not her man.
Okay.
But I love him. I thank God for him. He makes life real easy for me now.
That's wonderful. And for anyone that doesn't know what a rotary dial is, think flip phone. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this has definitely been a privilege and honor. It's like, I'm so glad that you joined me. It's like, you're definitely a beauty superstar. And we'll definitely look forward to, taking advantage of that offer, the $99 for the whole mentorship academy next year. And it's at nextlevelconcepts.net.
Yes.
So definitely, definitely go there. Oh, okay. See Freddie J. Hi there. She's laughing. But
that's my mentor.
Yes, well, I want to thank you for everything that you shared. I think this has been such a powerful session, just to really be able to hear your story and your openness. It's like there's so many people I know who can identify with some portion of what you shared. And Lakeisha says you are a beauty superstar.
That's my girl.
Yes. So definitely we appreciate you. It's like this is a second session for the Life Changers Month. And next week, I'm almost a little hesitant to announce because I think I have confirmation, but I'm not 100% sure that I have confirmation. Unfortunately, my guest that was scheduled is not going to be able to join us. And that was Carolyn Marshall Covington. And just want to send a shout out and prayer for her. She's had a lot going on, and so she's not going to be able to join us then. But I do have someone who has agreed to come. Okay. And it looks like she's been trying to call while I'm on. So I can tell you. Well, maybe I'll pause. I'll wait until I have all confirmation and everything. So we will have a great guest next week. So just stay tuned, 7:00 Tuesday evening. And then we're going to end the year with Mr. Darius Peace, who has Haya Beauty, and is really, I think, just taking and elevating the natural hair community to a whole nother level, but with inventing different techniques and that type of thing, sharing his salon management and business growth, as well as building natural hair communities. And so I'm excited to have him. I think he's really making some changes, making some waves in the industry, and he's just a great person. Yeah. So we will end the year out with him. And so then we'll go into January, into 2020, which is unbelievable. As I mentioned, we are on the podcast now, so I'm super excited. So you can listen. These will be getting loaded kind of, along the way. So there's some that are already on there. Continue to listen because there'll be more coming. We won't have this on immediately, but it's coming. But you can catch us on Apple, on iTunes, which is Apple now, Spotify, Stitcher, and there's lots more. So whatever your favorite podcast app is, you can find us there. It's Beauty Superstars Talk. And I'll put some information in if you'd like to become a patron and support us. It's like $1 a month you can start with. And at $5, there's like an extra class that I'll do as well. And so we're excited about what's going on. It's like next year is going to be pretty phenomenal. So I've got some things up my sleeve for January. So I'll be announcing that pretty soon, but just stay tuned. But we have so many just exceptional Black artists and entrepreneurs to celebrate and to hear their stories. And we're going to do a couple different formats next year as well. And we're going to continue to meet with as many legends as we can as well, and preserve this history and get to sit at the feet of people who've been there before us. So yeah, so I want to thank everyone who's joined us live, joining us on the podcast, joining us on YouTube, watching us, as a replay, and just say thank you. We appreciate the support. Please, share the love. And, there's definitely someone who can benefit from hearing what Denise shared with us tonight. So, yeah. So I'm going to say good night. It's like we should have a great week ahead. Be safe. The holidays are coming. Hopefully you're fully booked. I also want to just let everybody know, it's like one of the things that I have going on is a mastermind. It's like I work with people just a little bit with actual coaching one-on-one, but it's like the mastermind is powerful. And it's like we just met yesterday, and it's just amazing to see the growth, the support for each other. And if you are interested in, like you're tired of taking classes, not seeing results, and you're frustrated, can't get your kind of act together, need some support and accountability, that's everything that it's for. It's like, it's usually people who are really smart, really talented, and know the things that they want to do, or have some idea about the things that they want to do, just need that extra little support to make it happen. So it's like, that's what I love to do, is help people, get to where they want to get to, clarify it first, get there quickly, and be able to be a blessing. So if you're interested in joining us for the Be Your Own Boss 90-day mastermind, it starts January 11th, and there's a special on it until this Thursday. So any fast movers, you get an advantage. So just message me. You can leave me a message on whatever platform you're watching on. So I want to say again, thank you, Denise Michelle, for joining us tonight and just sharing so openly. Yeah. And we appreciate you and all that you're doing in the industry, and especially setting out your own table. We love it. So, so everyone have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7.
See you later.
Bye-bye.